Yo, welcome. Today I'm just gonna do a little video about Slayer and everything about how he simply works. This won't be anything difficult, so I mainly got this idea from a chatter on my stream today, saying how he wanted to, or how he's been learning Slayer, but he feels like he's being carried just because of how powerful he is. So I thought that I could maybe do a little video on explaining how he works and just give some simple tips and how to use him on a simpler level without getting too much into anything too confusing. So first of all, what we're gonna start with is just a simple thing. I'm gonna teach you a few ways on how to use your bite, which is one of the more important moves in the game. This little thing. It's very simple to do, but it's very easy to also miss. But you do get the buff from it for the universe, which is an extremely important thing for Slayer and how he's supposed to be played around with. So, first of all, I'm just gonna put Kai on block and I will show you how to combo or follow up into bite extremely easily and in a simple way that is not extreme. So, now we have put Kai in the blocking state, as you can see. He can block everything now. So, now I'll just show you, bite is a command grab, it can go through block, even though he is blocking it. So, extremely simple ways on how to combo the bite is, well, you can do 6k, you can feint this, and then into bite, like so. It's not a difficult input to do, just hold forward and kick. And remember to hold it, because if you just press it, it's not gonna feint the move. So you have to hold it, and then just bite as fast as you can, immediately once landing. And that's one way to get bite. So now the other way on a blocking opponent, on how to get bite, is what you need to kick, just normal kick, 5k, and then you need to dash to extend your dash. It's a bit more on the difficult side, but it works way easier. Because a lot of people don't expect you to actually do it, especially on lower tower levels or anything like that. But on higher ones you are gonna have to be prepared to follow up with something else, just in case if they expect it. So all you have to do is press 5k when it hits, and then you have to dash. So now, here's the thing that I want you to remember about the dash with this. It is extremely important on how he works. So, if I just hit 5k from max range, like so, I'm gonna end up in front of Kai, and then I can input bite out of that. Like so. And then also, if you're slightly more in the mid-range, where it's not fully at the max range of the kick, you're gonna go to the other side of them, so then you're gonna have to be ready to input bite from the other way, like so. And the 5k into dash is also a really good way to just mix up your opponent in not too difficult ways. You can just combo that immediately into something else if they're expecting bite. Usually if they're expecting it, a safe way to do it is just spam 2p, or then maybe 5p, but I would instead use 2p more, because it's a lot more easier to confirm that it will actually hit if they crouch under it. So remember, the range of your kick determines where you have to input the bite, and there is a slight downtime, so you can't immediately input it, so it takes time to get used to it. But otherwise, it's a very simple way to get it. And then, of course, it's the 5k, I mean the 6k, into feinting it, then biting. Like so. Or then just 5k dash into bite. But it takes time to learn. You're gonna have to learn the range of your kick, so you can be ready on how to input it. But otherwise it's extremely simple, and now we're just gonna go through the last way, which is mainly for mix-ups and follow-ups and how to do it. It works on basically any level players, unless they're experienced with how Slayer works. So I will teach you that now, and then we will get into some other stuff. Alright, so now I will teach you the other thing on how to combo in the bite. So let's say I'm like having Kai against the wall here, just doing like normal combo things, whatever you want to say I'm doing. And you can do Dandy Step. Either version works, but I would... Sometimes it just depends on the situation. But if you want it faster, you can then input the P version. Because if you do the kick version of Dandy Step, they will expect it way more because it has a longer drawback. So they can just hit you out of it pretty fast or do anything else. So if they're not ready for it, you can just P Dandy into Master's Hammer, which is Heavy Slash. And once it hits, they will get stunned and you will be on plus for 26. So what you can do is you can Master's Hammer, dash, and then immediately bite. So they will take chip damage, and then they will take the 80 damage from the bite. And you can do it on both versions, but it is heavily just requiring a lot of input timing and being fast with how you press everything, because if you do P Dandy, it cannot connect into bite just normally. So you are actually gonna have to dash just to get the downtime and get the timing correctly, because otherwise it will just whiff. So remember, any Dandy Step works as long as you follow up with Heavy Slash and dash and then input bite, which is a very simple way to get it. But then you can also do it on any range. Let's say I do it here, cross him up. So now that I'm on this side, I want to dash forward and then bite. Something like this, you know. Cross up, dash, and then bite. Or then you can do it from, again, any range. Like this, and then I have to do it from the other side. So just remember, if you're doing Master's Hammer in the bite, you're always gonna have to dash. Because if you don't dash, it'll whip. Like so. So just remember, you're gonna have to dash every time you wanna combo into bite from Dandy Steps. And that is exclusively only for Master's Hammers, because otherwise you're not gonna have enough plus on anything you press. Because Master's Hammer is the only thing that gives you plus 26. Or plus 23, I don't remember, but it was either one of the two. So it's the only way to actually get Master's Hammer and connect that into bite. So just remember, Dandy Step Heavy Slash, then you dash, and put the bite in the way that it's supposed to go. Extremely simple, but it just takes time to learn. From this side, you put bite this way, you know, and then from this side input it the other way. Just simple things. But this is the thing you're gonna have to learn. It is extremely useful, and you can just do universe things with this. So now, I might go through one more simple thing if I have anything in mind. But otherwise, there really isn't much. I just wanted to make this short little video about teaching like the things you actually do need to learn, but I can go through extremely simple, slight, small combos just to give some idea on how to do things. Alright, and now we have Kai, our boy Kai, not blocking anymore, so we can do the combos. So this is the normal combo you can do, usually. Is if you can do it in two different ways. You can do 5k into down dust, or then you can do 2k into down dust, just like this. But it works both ways. You can do 5k into 2d into Mappa, and it'll knock them back, or then you can do the other version of it, which won't knock them back as far. And it works from both ways. You can do it like this, or then like this. Extremely simple, not too difficult. It's just this, this, and then this. It's very easy to get the hang of, and it's one way to like start doing different things. You can like RC that, but I don't want to get too technical about it, because this is not what this video is meant to be about. And then some round start ideas. It depends on what your opponent is trying to predict you doing. I usually like to do 2 HS. It might get them if you're not expecting it. Or then the dash follow-up. This. Just dash backwards and then forward slash. It's also a great way to catch them off guard if they're not ready for it. Or if they're trying to predict something else and they're like trying to wait. And then push in when they see that you're not doing 2 HS. But a risky way to start their rounds is the dandy step, of course. If your opponent is trying to jump or back away slightly, you can just try to greed with a pile bunker. But I wouldn't suggest that. I think that is an extremely dumb idea. Because it leaves you open for a lot of different combos and immediately just getting punished for a very simple move. But otherwise, there really isn't much for round starters. It just depends what you're comfortable with. Like I usually do something like jump dash into a heavy slash. I mean slash, not heavy slash. And then combo it into like something like this, if I can get it. Like so. But otherwise, there really isn't much. And then now I will go through a simple way on how to do things. So basically 6HS is gonna be your favorite button in this entire game almost. The hitbox is extremely janky. It can hit pretty nicely. So what you want to do is, if you have any tension bar, this is just an extremely simple combo to do, so don't worry, it's not confusing. It's not really a combo, it's just big damage mainly, but you get the idea. So you can, let's say 2D, and then do something like that. You can, not 2D, you can 2HS to roll and cancel into 6HS, which knocks them down and then back up. So it'll look something like this. And then you can follow it up into pile bunker if you want to. Because I don't want to get too confusing with this, I won't go over like some more advanced things you can do with it. Like combining dust into it. But I don't want to go over those because again, this is not what it's meant to be. So you can just do this and this, and that is a pretty good 150 immediately for just with one tension bar. Or then you can do the other dandy step to get yourself even closer to them, which I guess you could combo into something else. Something like this. But you get the idea. You can do it from anything, because red RC just knocks them up so much. So I can just punch them, then do it again. I can kick them down, and then do it again. And you can also dust it, and do it again. You can do it from anything. It's really simple, but nothing too difficult. So that's basically all this video was about. Just some extremely simple tips and what you wanna try to get used to when playing Slayer. And also, if your kick hits without them blocking, it can still work. They don't need to block it. But just remember that Master's Hammer, the follow-up, does not. It is only on blocking opponents, because they're gonna get knocked up. So only use Dandy Step into Heavy Slash into Bite if they are blocking, and if you see them block it. But otherwise, try to use the kick to your advantage and the dash, because it doesn't knock them too much, so you can just combo it. It is extremely simple, but you just have to remember those simple things. To only use Bite and Dash if they're blocking Dandy Step, Heavy Slash, then you can connect it. But otherwise, try the kick, and then the simple combo I went through, or just big damage, whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, this video is just this. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate all of you for coming by and listening to this. And this is just a simple way for new Slayer players to get used to him without getting like immediately trying to get used to pile bunker looping or anything around that. You don't need to think about those for a starter. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Whatever, just a little video I got in mind. Nothing else. Take care.